watching. There were 110 people logged in and watching at the same time. Our apologies. Don't know what happened, but here we are. We are back, and so that was just summarizing why the Hindu temples are under attack. Right. So there's a Khalistani factor. There's the ISI instigation, as brought about by the Hudson Institute research report from 2021. There is also Hindu apathy. Right. How many people get intimidated because they have swastika in their home or swastika on their door? Does that ever get reported? I remember one instance, and I've talked to this. I talked about this at various swastika-related talks. Uh, One of our past VHPA's general secretaries. So we are one of the largest Hindu organizations in the world, in America, and certainly also in Bharat. If our sister organization is larger in Bharat. We're all separate organizations, but sharing the same kind of ideology, philosophy, and the dharmic philosophy, right? And in America, the general secretary of our organization had a Home Depot come to service, do some service, plumbing or some fixing something, and the person who came saw swastika at the home, immediately went back and reported that as a crime, like, oh, this is a hateful home because there's a swastika here. And but Hindus don't report things like that. That, look, I mean, there is, and people have been intimidated for having swastika. So, and then there's police apathy. We talked about. There's economic envy. A lot of, I don't know if you saw the report this week, where there is a burglary tourism, where people come from Latin American, South American countries to US. They burglarize the Indian homes, Hindu homes, and make away with it. So there's enough economic envy that leads to some of this, right? Especially the burglaries. And also there's a lack of awareness about the government programs. There's so many government programs that are available to make the mandirs safe and secure, but people just don't know about it, and mandirs are not engaged in get enrolling the government to be on their side. So I before I turn it over to you, uh, what can we do? So I think we, as you know, that World Hindu Council of America, or Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America, VHPA, has something called Hindu Mandir Empowerment Council, HMEC. It used to be called Hindu Mandir Executives Conference. It is now Hindu Mandir Empowerment Council, and HMEC offers resources on the website hmec.info. hmec.info offers resources on its websites about temple safety. HMEC has also conducted safety training with FBI and law enforcement. We also have government grants. There are government grants that are available both at the state level and federal level for safety and security of religious places. These grants are available, and HMEC has offered webinars in partnership with Seva uh, on how to apply for these grants, like training on how to apply for these grants. And then finally, we offer a free consultation to mandirs in helping them how to apply for safety and security grants. So, as you know, we are traveling across the US. We are visiting 850 mandirs, and we want to tell everyone, along with the Ram Yath Yatra, we are also telling people that, look, make your mandir safe and secure. There are resources available in form of monetary resources, training, assistance with application of grants, the training, the other documentation, legal help. All of that is available. Please make use of these resources. And I'll take your comment. What do you have? Any comments on this?
Yeah, I think this particular set of resources that HMEC offers should really now kick into high gear with the Rath Yatra, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to meet with the 800 and some temples, it's an opportunity as we celebrate Ram Mandir and its significance, also to remind them these temples are in the United States now. They need to be aware of what's happening across the country, and that they owe their constituents, their devotee base, uh, an assurance that these temples are safe and not going to be places of violence that turns away people. So the temples have a big role, and HMEC has a bigger role in educating. Just because these resources are available, Ajay, our community won't reach out and say, help me, teach me. No, they won't. You have to push it to them, right? And I think it's extremely important now, because now the diaspora is really worried they won't go to these temples,
Yeah.
right? They might only go to the big temples, and then that's a big loss, because these small temples serve a very specific purpose. It's for a particular kind of practice, particular kind of dharma, particular kind of community who come there. Why should they be sidelined? But they
Yeah.
will be sidelined if security is not enforced. So temples education, a must. And then the other thing is law enforcement. I know you've done a training for FBI law enforcement. It has to be ongoing. It has to be at the local level. Hmm? The LA County, the Santa Clara County, Alameda County, and then the police sheriff at the at the ground level.
Yeah.
We had a guy who was part of our team in Southern California. He and his team members had a curry with cops. A
Right.
cop, a Hindu American cop,
Yeah.
they said, "Hey, I want to bring my colleagues, and we want to have curry or some Indian food." See,
Yeah.
we have to build that trust and relationships, right? Means each of us have to invest in this whole process. It's not like the temple can take care of it, or HMEC can take care of it, or VHPA can take care of it. No, it is all up to the individual to take care of it. Report everything.
Yeah.
That's another thing we need to educate the community on. Like what we saw on the Sikh and the Muslims, how they report every little thing. We should
Yeah.
do. You
No,
see?
and the HSS Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh also does a great job with the Raksha Bandhan,
Yeah,
because they go and
yeah,
tie rakhis to all the law enforcement people, and I think that also generates quite a bit of awareness and builds good relations with the local law enforcement and make local law enforcement aware of the
yeah.
issues that Hindu community is facing. So, any final thoughts before we close this topic out?
Yeah, one thought I have is let's all reach out to our those 5 Congress members first. Thank them for being proactive in this, and ask them to stay on top of it so that we see action happening on the ground. We don't want a report coming on the 18th of April and then the same cycle of violence happens again, because that would have accomplished nothing. So we need to make sure we demand of our elected officials to stay on target and get us some assurance that justice will prevail.
Okay, thank you. And let's move on to our three regular segments, right? And I think a couple of them I've added that you might actually really like. So the first one is the Hindu Seva slash Charity Act of the Week, and we are in the middle of Yath Yatra, the Ram Yath Yatra, which is a yatra across US to visit around 800 mandirs and deliver prasad and akshat from Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir. Excuse me, Shri Ram Mandir at the birthplace or Janmabhoomi of Shri Ram in Ayodhya. We got directly the Akshat and the Prasad from Ayodhya, and we have a Murti that's a replica of the Murti that is at the Ram Mandir, which has been ordered specially from India, that we are going to mandir after mandir. 10 mandirs are being visited today. It is a 2 month yatra with a lot of, as you can imagine, quite a bit of expense. And we appeal to you, please go to uh, yatra.rammandir. I should have it typed here. I somehow got deleted. Yatra.rammandir2024.org. Yatra.rammandir2024.org. I'm going to put it here in the chat, uh, so that everyone can go and make even a small contribution, $5, $10, whatever you can donate, uh, is going to be helpful as we do this for the first time. I think it's a historic yatra, going to every single mandir. We're covering over 800 mandirs. There are total 1140 mandirs in America. As per the list we have, over 800 have partnered with us on this activity. So please go to the website and help us as much as we can. The next one, Sudha, I think I want to get your opinion on this. And this is for the first time, finally, the in the textbooks in India, NCERT, and this is a news item that came, I think, only about 3 days ago, 2 days ago. NCERT, which is the government body that works on the textbooks and educational curriculum in India, is tweaking the class 12 history book, and they're saying that Harappans were indigenous, and maybe it was not an Aryan invasion, or it is kind of more research needs to be done, kind of thing. So this is something that is unique, right? I mean, that this never happened before. um, your thoughts on this, and I'll read some excerpts from this, but I want to get your first reaction, but and then I'll tell you what uh, you know uh, what are the changes they're making.
Hmm. I think this is an extremely positive step. This is a step towards building pride in Indians about their Indic civilization, right? For the
Yeah.
longest time, telling us that Aryans came from somewhere and educated us, brought us Sanskrit. I have somebody who said Sanskrit came from Spain. So we said, oh, that meaning English came from England, so Sanskrit came from Spain. Okay, we have to debunk all of this. We need to reestablish the real facts of the Indian history and make sure our kids learn it, because otherwise, we are losing time. As generations go by, we would completely lose connections with what our glorious past was, right? Glorious or not, glorious or not. It was always a lot of strife, but we need a correct history and civilization taught in all schools.
I one thing I've noticed is that no matter what no matter where you go, no matter what you talk about, the Chinese will always say that we have a continuous civilization and history of 4,000 years, right? But Hindus, especially, even though it's a longer civilization and it's at least 5,000 years, we have the excavations that are being done in Dwarka that will prove that it's a thousands of years old civilization. We have excavations in the Harappa site and all the other sites that show that our civilization is as long, if not longer, than the Chinese civilization, as continuous as existence, right? But we always hesitate to say that we are an old civilization. We have an unbroken continuity of 5,000 years. So this textbook now says the addition and deletion related to Harappan civilization have been justified on the grounds that recent evidence from archaeological sites warrant a correction, and the addition primarily emphasize the unbroken continuity of 5,000 years of the Harappan civilization. And they go into the archaeogenetic research conducted at the Raki Grahi site to rule out the Aryan immigration and suggest that the Harappan practiced some form of democratic system. So not only, and we'll talk about one of these days we'll talk about the uh, democracy and the republics that existed in India. So for the first time, we are introducing this India has a continuous civilization. This is something that was suppressed, if you will, when the in the last 75 years in India, and now it is finally being recognized. And the some of the changes, other changes, say the genetic roots of the Harappans go back to 10,000 BCE. The DNA of the Harappans has continued till today, and a majority of the Southeast Asian population appears to be their descendants. Due to trade and cultural contacts with Harappans in distant regions, there is a mixture of genes in small quantity. The continuity without any break in genetic history as well as cultural history rules out large scale immigration, or what is basically, I mean, I think what they're referring to is the Aryan invasion.
Mhm.
So, your
I am
thought.
so happy. I'm so happy. I just want to let you know, my community from Kerala, and I am not naming it, my community has been recorded in the trade records of the Greeks and the Romans 3,000 years ago. So how am I not indigenous? Eh? Who claims United Nations gives you the title whether you are indigenous or not. Why? Huh? These tribes, like you have been a tribe, I've been a tribe, we are still tribes. We have records of antiquity, and we should claim that. And now I always claim I am an indigenous, and come and get me if you don't.
Hey, so with that, the final segment of the show that everyone kind of generally waits for, and that is the Hindu hater of the week. And this is something you are probably the most qualified to comment on. So I'd like you to comment on this. So this
This is
week,
the good news.
and this is we try to get as much American news as possible, but I could not resist this. So the Hindu hater of the week is the chief minister of Kerala because he is a fact denier. He wants to deny the story that is depicted in the Kerala story. He is shadow banned, or he tried to ban Kerala stories from Kerala, and now he was up and down, like really upset and worked up because it was being shown on the national television channel called the Doordarshan in India. As I said,
Doordarshan.
we try to get American news as much as possible, but I just couldn't resist this one, and I know that you
I
have a
agree.
lot to say about it.
Well, remember, elections are happening, and Mr. Pinarayi needs vote bank. And I don't know if the vote bank is going to stick with him this time. But I have seen comments and videos of Kerala Muslims who have said they have watched Kerala story. They encourage people to go see it. That's a segment, right? So Mr. Pinarayi, of course, has his own preferences. I'm glad the movie showed. But I also want to say, when the movie was released in India last year, Kerala only had one theater showing. And then there is a local channel called Tattumayi. Tattumayi is run by RAW, Rajesh Pillai, ex-RAW, and also from United States. He came to study, his wife and he came to study as Fulbright scholars and went back to serve India. So Tattumayi channel is a small channel or video, I mean, a YouTube kind of channel, and they sponsored uh, massively this Kerala story all over, and it then turned into a huge uh, viewing in many theaters, and people going and watching it. So I have to say, individual advocacy, advocacy of individuals, advocacy of these small institutions really make a lot of difference. So, well, I don't know what's going to happen to Mr. Pinarayi. He might come back. We don't know.
Well, but at least there was at least the people of Kerala had the opportunity to watch the movie this week, and
Yeah.
that in today's day and age, that counts as progress. Someone being able
Yes,
to watch a movie, right? So,
I know, I know.
so,
And this is a
so
democracy, free speech, free everything, but government
the,
still comes down with a hard
the
fist.
government hammer coming down on people who want to watch a movie. Yeah? So,
Yeah,
I mean, look, I mean, it's if it's defaming a religion or something like that, I can understand. But this is presenting a fact in a movie. It is not defaming any. It's not like taking anyone's scripture or taking anyone's, prophet, or not taking anyone's god, or taking anyone and and demonizing them or insulting them in any way. This is a story about what is happening in contemporary India. You don't like it,
yes,
make your own movie, right?
exactly. You have choices.
That's right. Hey, Sudha, thank you very much. We'll do this again next week. This has been a lot of fun again. So thank you for joining. And this has been Hindu Lounge. Hindu Lounge is brought to you by Hindu Pact. And Hindu Lounge brings contemporary American Hindu issues to everyone, to the audience every single week. Hindu Lounge is, as I said, project of Hindu Pact. Hindu Pact is Hindu Policy Research and Advocacy Collective, an initiative of World Hindu Council of America, or VHPA. I know that we had some technical glitch this week, but we'll merge the two videos and re-upload them on YouTube and Twitter so you guys can watch the whole thing. So with that, thank you very much. Namaste, and we will see you next week. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.